Welcome back to another part of What If Naruto Was Smart. Um, this is part two to the series. Looks like you guys enjoyed the last part, so I'm gonna make another part. In this video, like the first half is gonna be me explaining something over again because I don't think I did a very good job of it. Um, and the second part is gonna be like the rest of the what if. So, yeah, I would recommend you guys watch the first part. As it explains a lot more in detail of what happened, with Naruto and the sword. I'm just gonna go backtrack around about 10 minutes from the last video, because I really don't like how I did it. So yeah, enough with me just talking. I'm gonna just get right into it. So as Naruto enters the bunker, or what would be pretty much a bunker, he sees two things. First, a long sword and some jewels and stuff, like Uzumaki symbols and stuff like that. Naruto then starts walking around, seeing that there's different things, and not just the Uzumaki symbol. There's, of course, the Namikaze symbol as well. And once Naruto has finally explored the bunker enough, it's not that big anyways, finally comes to what would be the longsword, called Shizumaru. Now, he doesn't know the name of the sword just yet, but I already named it, so yeah. Naruto then opens the case to the sword. It was wrapped in a red cloth, and it has a pretty nice cushion on below it. It wasn't hanged on the wall. It was on a table, a very neatly designed table with many jewels and a cup of what looks to be blood. Naruto then, as he's about to touch it, he is stopped by what would be Minato's spirit. Naruto looks up. Father? Father? Naruto. Looks like you got my message, he says. Dad! As Naruto goes and hugs Minato. Minato, of course, hugs him back. He's like, I don't have much time, Naruto. I need to explain exactly what this place is, and how it came to be, and what that sword is, he says. He's like, well, let me give you a little backstory of what this place is. He's like, I think you already know who I am, so I don't really have to explain that. He wished that he could talk more with his son, but this is a very important matter that um he has to talk to Naruto about. He then says, this was made when both the Uzumaki and basically the Namikaze clans were in a war, or were being attacked. The leaders of the both clans made this place in case that one of the future generations could maybe wield the sword. He says, this sword is special, you see, Naruto. There are three requirements you need for this sword. You first need the Nine Tails. Second, you need to be an Uzumaki and Namikaze hybrid. And third, you need to be part of this unknown clan I've never heard about, but it's been passed on to every single Namikaze or Namikaze leader. And this is all I know, Naruto. And I know you can do it. You're the child of prophecy, Naruto. You see, Naruto, you're gonna save this world from what is coming. What do you mean, father? What's coming? He says. Minato smiles. I wish I had more time, Naruto. I really wish I did. But that's something you have to find out by yourself. As he starts melting away, vaporizing away. Wait, father, wait! As he yells out. It was great meeting you, Naruto. Look at how much you've grown. Don't worry, this is not our last talk. I promise you, we will be able to meet each other once again. As he finally dissipates. Naruto looks back at the sword. Says, I wonder what this sword is. If it has so many requirements, then it must be very special. He says. He then opens what would be the case, and he touches it. And at this very moment in time, he goes through every single not Naruto, Uzumaki, and Tamikaze memories, from birth to death. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking some dirty ass thoughts right now. Like, if he was a male, he would, to be able to procreate, he would have to experience those memories. And I know a lot of people are thinking, if he can live Kushina's life, I bet he could probably experience Minato. What you call it? Procreate Naruto. And he did have to live through Minato's memories as well. But I'm gonna just say the sword skipped out on that. It has a memory. It has a what you call it? It has a I guess a function of its own, because like he's a fucking basically a 9-year-old. What are you trying to do to him? Are you guys trying to, like, I don't know, make him like a beast or something, like a lust beast? Like, I ain't trying to do that. I'm sorry. But after experiencing basically birth and death over 7,000 times, this changes Naruto. It could be for the better or for the worst. Basically, at this point, Naruto doesn't fear death anymore. He doesn't care. He cares. He has emotions, of course, but he doesn't feel. He doesn't feel death. Like, he embraces that shit. Really, he's not scared of death, and this will lead him to do many, many great things. This is when he unsheaths the sword, and there is this aura around it, this yellowish aura, but it dissipates. Oh, it's almost like it went right into his brain. This aura just went right, like almost like a needle. Naruto fell to the ground, on one knee. He's huffing and puffing. What was that? He says. He has such a bad headache. He then remembers, I have to make it back to the village before Lord Hiruzen finds out where I was. He then starts getting out of the bunker and starts walking out. But he's stopped, you could say, because as he's walking, he accidentally shrugs somebody on the shoulder. Now, these people did it on purpose. This person falls to the ground. Ah! He screams. My leg! You broke my leg, kid! This is when a crowd of 5 people surround Naruto. I can't believe you would do that to this guy. You have to pay for his medical injuries now. Naruto says, I didn't do anything. He says. And I know his leg isn't broken. What'd you say, brat? We know that you broke his leg. Naruto says, he's experienced this before. And his many past lives, you could say. His many 7,000 lives. Says, oh, this is what must be. This is what you must call theft or robbery. He's like, I know you guys are planning to take my money anyways. Let's get this over with. This is when the guy who was aching in pain, quote unquote, stands up. So like, looks like you caught on, kid. You have a sharp eye. Too bad. You're gonna die here. This is when four shadows in the dark appear. These are the Hokage's personal Anbu. They've come to check up on Naruto. Cause he did say he was gonna be back by five o'clock, and it's basically 5:10. So they come on check. They come and check up on Naruto. They know where he is because they are Anbu. They can track almost anything in the world, basically. Well, not everything in that bit, but like they're really good at tracking and killing. This is when they try to interfere, but basically the squad leader of the Anbu at this very moment in time stops them. It's like, I always wondered what this Naruto kid can do. Let him have a shot at them. If it looks like he's in trouble, we'll jump in. But let him have his fight. I wonder how strong he is, he says. Because he's like, I can't even sense his chakra. This must either be because he's hiding it, or he's stronger than me. He then looks back at Naruto. And this is when we switch back to Naruto's perspective. Naruto then shouts, as all five of them gather around Naruto with kunais in hand, or a sword in hand, basically weapons in hand. Naruto shouts, Uzumaki sword style. Uzumaki clan sword style. 3, number 3. This is when his sword style is different. This is not something Naruto would know. His movements are so elegant, so carefree, like he's a butterfly. Almost like he's flapping his wings. And in a moment of literally seconds, they all drop. All the bandits drop to the floor with either severed limbs or decapitated heads or bodies that were split in half. They can never recover from this. Naruto, without even blinking, starts walking away. The Anbu are basically dumbfounded. How is this possible? They say. It's almost like he's killed for years. He didn't even bat an eye at the scene he created. They say. He's a monster. He didn't even care about what he just did. Now, the Anbu have killed basically probably like hundreds, if not thousands of people. But they've never seen a kid who can not even bat an eye at an enemy he just killed. And he's basically 9 years old. They're like, we have to report this to the third Hokage. This is not the old Naruto we used to know. Something happened to him, they say. This is when they see a scroll on the pocket of Naruto. They're like, what is that scroll? As they, as they're heading back, they see the scroll on Naruto's pocket. They can't really see what it reads out. but it says something. It says flying Raijin. And now we backtrack a little bit. When what was it? Before Naruto left, he looked back at where Minato, or quote, his father was, and he sees the scroll that was dropped by him. And I read the Flying Raijin. And he, of course, picked it up because he thought it was going to be very useful to him. And that's how he has acquired the Flying Raijin. Now, he's going to take many, many months to learn this, but I just thought I would give it to him because basically he's. I really like the Flying Raijin. It's a very powerful technique if used correctly. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to give it to him. The Anbu is shocked. How does this kid have such a powerful technique? Says we have to report this to the Lord Hokage as soon as possible. And they make their way up to what would be the third Hokage. But they don't report just yet. They wait for Naruto's report. So when he comes in, when Naruto enters the third Hokage's building, he says, Lord Hiruzen, or old man. Ah, Naruto, my boy, he says. You're finally back. What took you so long? Naruto smiles. He's like, I had a little bit of trouble on the way. It was nothing at all. Hiruzen then squints a little bit. He looks at what would be Naruto's left thigh, or he sees a sword. Never seen a sword like this before. And he is basically I think the sage of all jutsus. I don't know. He then says, Naruto, where'd you acquire that sword? Naruto says, it's like I acquired it from a very special person. I mean, he's not really lying, but he's not really telling this truth. Hiruzen, understanding what, Naruto's doing here, says, oh, I see. Naruto also then announces that he's like, Lord Hiruzen, do you know a jutsu by the name of the Flying Raijin? The third Hokage's just got flabbergasted by this. How does Naruto know about this jutsu? He then thinks he's like father like son, I guess. I guess he found out somehow. He's like, Lord Hiruzen says, I know a little bit of it. Would you like me to tell you? Naruto nods, says, I would really much appreciate it if you did. The Flying Raijin was a jutsu that was created by the second Hokage, Tobirama Senju. It was then upgraded by your father. That was his signature jutsu, you see. The Flying Raijin was basically why he was called the Yellow Flash. It almost made it look like he was teleporting. Well, he was basically teleporting, he says, but that's all I know about it. It's a very powerful technique that takes many years to learn, he says. Your father took basically 2 or 3 years to learn it. Naruto nods, says, well, could you by any chance teach me? He says, well, you see, Naruto, my boy, I have lost the scroll to it. I cannot teach you that much, as I barely know anything about it myself. Naruto then tosses a scroll over. Says, will that work? Third Hokage's just genuinely shocked at this point. He does not know anything to say. He's like, what the hell did this kid just go through in the last 10 hours? How the hell does he have such a most one of the most important jutsus of the century? How did you acquire this, Naruto? He then says, a very special person gave it to me. It's like, who is this very special person? Naruto says, I guess you just have to find out. He's like, if you don't mind, can I have the scroll back? Sort of Kage thinks about this for a second. Should I let this kid have this? Should I let Naruto have this scroll? It's so important, though. I don't know if I should let him have it. He then thinks about this for a second. He's like, you know what? Something's changed in Naruto. He then thinks about exactly how Naruto used to be so goofy, but now he looks more organized, he says. Like something's changed inside of him. This brings him to the conclusion that he's gonna trust Naruto with this. He then hands the scroll back to Naruto. Says, please take good care of this scroll. It's one of the most important jutsus in Konoha. Naruto nods, says, I'll be on my way now. When are you gonna be free? I really want to learn this jutsu as soon as possible. Lord Hiruzen says, how about in 2 days, on Thursday? Naruto nods, says, I'll be free that day. See you, old man. As he closed the door. No. As he closed the door, he somehow just walked. But with him just walking, he's already outside the building. Lord Hiruzen looks outside the building. He sees Naruto already outside. This is not possible. He was just outside. He has no words at this moment. This is when the Anbu jump down. They bow. They're like, and Hiruzen says, report. Lord Hokage, how can we explain this to you? We think Naruto has changed. Basically when we arrived, they say, we saw Naruto being basically robbed by a couple of bandits. And Hiruzen was, so did you stop him? No, Lord Hokage. We wanted to test out Naruto's skills, and to our surprise, he somehow knew this sword style. This he called it the Uzumaki clan sword style. It was his third form in the style, and it killed all of them in a blink of an eye. And he didn't even bat an eye. Almost like he's been killing for years. Almost like he's been in many wars. Lord Hiruzen says, this is very shocking. This is very shocking indeed. How could a kid who was basically very enthusiastic about everything just have a complete 180, he says. He says, I want Kakashi Hatake on this. I need every single one of I need every single one of you to start following Naruto. Find out what he knows. I need to know what the hell happened that day, today. Whatever it takes. This is not the Naruto I know of. Something happened. For better or for worse, he says. He says, call in Kakashi Hatake. Immediately. This is when, around about 2 hours later, midnight, Kakashi walks in. You called for me, Lord Hokage? He says. Yes. There's something very wrong with Naruto. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. Short little video, I know. Just thought I should get something out today. Thanks for all the likes and views you guys showed on the last video. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot. It means the fucking world to me, actually. Comment down below, I don't know, some more what if ideas I should do, if you guys would like some. I know a lot of people are commenting down like a lot of what ifs, and I've been following them. Some of them are giving me really good ideas. Like, for example, the what if Naruto was an elected Uchiha that left the village was really, really good. If you guys have any ideas like that, comment them down below, and I'll give you a little quick shout out when I'm doing the what if. So, yeah. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. Let's see. I'm probably gonna be, I don't know,